one of my favorite subjects to talk about because it is a subject that so many people have issues with, and it's called sleep. And so sleep is something that's super important. And if y'all if you would mute yourself, that would be great because I'm getting an echo
I don't
somewhere.
know, probably me. I don't know how to mute.
The mute
I don't,
button, the mute button is on the bottom left. Should be.
oh, is that what that little thing is?
It's a microphone.
I think I have everybody. Well, I'll work on it.
Okay. All right. So sleep is something that I believe, especially as women, that we learn early on. And when we start having babies and we're busy and we're trying to be all the things to the kids, to the husband, to a job, to the house, a lot of times, if we look back, sleep is what we let go. And what happens then over time, it becomes a habit. It becomes oh, I'll catch up with that later kind of thing. And I'm sure that some of you know what I'm talking about. And then before we know it, there are some patterns that we have created that are not good for us because sleep is super important. And I would venture to say, as a health coach, that, we teach about healthy eating. And something super important too, as you're aging, is movement. But just as important as we age is how much sleep we're getting. Um, if we're not getting enough sleep, we're damaging so many different things, and especially our brain. So we want to make sure that we get into a good rhythm for that. And one of the number one things that I hear all the time in my health coaching is I can't sleep, or I don't sleep, or I wake up in the middle of the night and then I can't go back to sleep, or whatever. It's just a lot of things associated with sleep. Sometimes it's pain. A lot of times it's things on the mind and all of that. So we're going to kind of cover all of that quickly tonight. And I'm going to give you just some really cool tips. A lot of them you may already know, yeah, especially during menopause. A lot of them you may already know, but I'm hoping some of them will be new to you that you can try. And then when I'm finished with that, we'll talk supplements and oils. Um, and we'll also do a question and answer at the end if y'all want to. And Stacy is in here going to help me too with the chat. Okay, so one of the big reasons that people can't sleep now is because of electricity and stress. So we were created that our cortisol would rise as the sun comes up. And then as it's time for the sun to start setting, the cortisol goes down and our melatonin naturally goes up. Well, that was really easy before electricity, because before electricity, you remember the saying of, I think it was going to bed with the chickens, or whatever. What would happen is people back in the day, a long time ago, before electricity, they would go to sleep with the sky. When the sky was dark, that, like I said, their cortisol went down, their melatonin naturally just went up, and they would go to sleep. And then when the sun would start to rise, it would raise their cortisol and lower their melatonin. So, of course, now we are a 24/7 society and have been for a long time. So it's really hard, and we have to make a bigger effort. The other one is stress. We were just talking about social media and all of that. We have so much stress that keeps us moving and going in our mind 24/7, which will also upset the body. So we're going to talk about some things we can do about that. Sleep meds are scary. I'm just going to say that. Some of you may be on them, and it's totally up to you how you want to handle that. But the problem with a lot of sleep meds is they don't pass the blood-brain barrier, and they sit there, and they're really not helping you still get a good night, real sleep. Uh, and it can contribute to Alzheimer's and dementia. So one time I went on a trip to Russia long time ago, and one of the guys was taking Ambien, and his roommate found him in the middle of the night on the sidewalk because between jet lag and taking an Ambien, he didn't even know. They had to wake him up. So there are just things like that that are can be scary. The beauty is that when we know what our body needs and wants, then we can supplement it naturally and take care of it. So here's the other thing, and I'll just mention this briefly, but I'm going to give away my age here by saying this. But some of the things that we have nowadays, even though they can be good, they bug me. And that's things like when we sleep with watches on that are going to tell us how well we slept, or an aura ring that tells us everything that we did, or whatever. If that's your thing, that's great. But what I do want to say, and I've had conversations with people that go, oh, I hadn't thought about that, but you're right, it does happen. What happens is we find that we've stressed ourselves out when we're wearing some of these things because when we look at it and we go, I only got 4 hours last night. I thought I got 8, but I only got 4. And we get all stressed out about it. So then all of a sudden, now this thing that we think is going to make us healthy, we're stressed because our body's not doing what we thought it was going to do. And that thing is telling on us. It's a tattletale. So that's just a thought that if you're struggling with something like that, you might want to take it off for a bit and just see how you do to just totally relax. That you don't necessarily have to have something constantly telling you. Just a thought. Okay, so here are some practical tips, like I said, before I get into some of this. But one of the things that people do that's just a common habit is if they wake up in the night, they'll look at their watch or they'll look at a clock. And guess what? They get stressed because, excuse me, again, it's saying you've only got 2 more hours. You know, when you set your clock, oh my gosh, I've got to go back to sleep. And then you lay back down thinking, I've only got 2 more hours. And then you're freaking out and your body is now stressed. And so you can't go to sleep because you're thinking about the time you're supposed to wake up. I hope that makes sense. Another thing is, and a lot of people may not like this, but your room. What is in your bedroom where you are supposed to let go to go to sleep? Well, a lot of times it's electronics, it's phones, or it's junk. We are supposed to walk into a bedroom and feel the weight of the world fall off of us. Um, it's it's where it should be our sanctuary so that our body can truly relax. Well, if we use our bedroom to pile up everything that was in the house that we needed to move out of this room or whatever, then it takes our energy. It stresses us when we walk into that room. So I want to encourage you, if that's you, that maybe you figure out a different way, something else to do with all of that, because it really is an energy taker. And you say, well, I don't need energy. I'm going to sleep. No, it's a downer. It's a stressor because your room feels heavy. So you want to make your room a sanctuary, and that's where we get into diffusing. Diffusing is such a beautiful thing too. So clean your room out. And I suggest that you start diffusing a little bit before, like 30 minutes before you go to bed. Because you set again the ambiance in the room that diffusion is telling your brain it is time for me to bring everything down and to start going to sleep. You would be surprised at what your brain tells your body. And one of the things is that's very powerful is your mindset will talk to your brain and your brain will tell your body, hey, she said it's time to go to sleep. And you'll be amazed how it can start coming down. Um, so you want to diffuse things like, and I pulled these out because I love the trees. I love anything to do with our farms, the tree farms. So I got something like evergreen essence is very peaceful and calming. I didn't bring it up here, but pine can be. I love to mix cedar wood, another one, with lavender, stress away, um, peace and calming, things like that. Another one is Northern Lights Black Spruce. Any of those to me are calming. Um, and lavender mixed with any of those, calming. Whatever you enjoy, I suggest that you start 30 minutes ahead of time that you want to go to sleep. And that way your room starts smelling like that and starts becoming your sanctuary. Um, so the other thing is temperature. And especially somebody's already written the word menopause. Temperature is everything. We fight it because the way our house was built, it's like they could have cared less about how the air got to our bedroom. So we bought one of those tall standing fans for the summertime. But and then sometimes we put the air conditioning fan on at night, even though we have the heat on, so it will circulate things better. Um, you just have to figure that out because nothing will wake you up quicker than being too hot. And for me, if I'm too cold, I can't go to sleep either. So you want to be Goldilocks. You want it to be just right. But you really want to try to figure out what that temperature is so that you can relax. The bad thing about our room, and again, you want breathable. I love to use for a while, we were using one of those polyester soft, cushy blankets, and I was just throwing it off every night because they don't breathe. So your body heat starts building up and then it'll wake you up. So I went back to an old quilt that's completely cotton. It's all the difference in the world. So you want to think about fabrics that can breathe so that your body temperature can stay a good temperature. Um, okay. So another thing is if your room is too bright, you may need blackout shades, or we'll talk about something else in a minute. But I remember one time years and years ago at my mother and daddy's house, I couldn't figure out why I was so miserable and didn't feel like I slept. And it finally dawned on me one night that even though they had a blind up, the street light would shine through the blind. And what happens is, even sometimes if you think you have things blacked out, unless you have like blacked out curtains or something like that, the light gets in a little bit, even even when you turn over, your eyelids will flutter. And when they do, you're going to catch even any little ray of light. It can even be your smoke detector light, and it can disturb you just when
I
you're
want you to
turning
turn your
over.
light off when you're sleeping.
Excuse me?
Really affects you. I am sorry. I didn't know my thing was on.
Yeah. And so when your eyelids will pick up on some of those things, and then that's going to alert you, oh, it's time to get up. Remember the melatonin and the cortisol thing. It's going to alert you. The light is going to alert your eyes that, oh, maybe it's time to get up. So that can also interrupt. Um, okay. So another thing we have to think about, and this is really huge. Too many times people compartmentalize these things. So they'll compartmentalize, well, that's sleep at night, and I'll worry about that at night. But what you do in the day is really going to make a difference of how you sleep at night. So let me explain that. Um, how stressed was your day? What did you do about it? Did you hurt? Did you have some kind of injury or pain that you didn't really take care of well enough? Um, what supplements did you take in the morning to help you be fully into your day, that would start winding you down? Um, what heavy things are on your mind? Just what was going on in your day? Because here is where, if you don't make a very distinct decision to remove that. When you go lay down, it's still going to be there, and it's going to be going around and around and around in your mind. One of the most powerful things you can do, and it probably sounds crazy, y'all, if y'all have heard me teach before on here, you'll hear me say that you can speak without thinking, but you cannot write without thinking. You have to engage the brain in order to write what you are thinking. And so, something that's really, really amazing is to just write down some heavy things that are on your mind. Have a little book. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to write a whole story, but you could write a few things that are bothering you and start to empty that. It literally starts to empty that from your brain to the page, and then release it and let it go. Um, and it will help your brain to relax. If you didn't get something done and you're irritated about it, calm yourself down and roll it to tomorrow. Just say, I will get this done on January the 23rd. I didn't make it today, and it's okay. And don't beat yourself up, and just move it over to the next day. In other words, you're trying to empty your brain so that you can sleep. So now let's talk dinner. Did you eat a lot of carbs? Did you have fast food? Did you have too much sugar? All of these things will affect your gut, and it will affect your sleep. It will affect your sugar and whether your sugar is balanced. And I didn't put this in my notes, but I'm going to mention this here that I love it because more and more and more doctors are really calling out alcohol. Now, if you love your alcohol, I'm not going after you, but I just want to give you some facts. Um, Alcohol, people will think they need alcohol to go to sleep. They need their glass of wine or whatever. A doctor convinced my mother when she had Parkinson's for 20 years that alcohol would relax her. And actually, I look back and see how she got worse. But what happens is people drink alcohol and then they'll go lay down, and the alcohol has relaxed them, but they'll wake up when the alcohol wears off, because guess what? The sugar will now kick in. So then their heart's racing, they can't go back to sleep. So that's just another thing to think about. If you're having issues sleeping, you might want to be honest with yourself about what some of your habits are. And again, that goes with food. Uh, Dinner needs to be the final so that your body can start relaxing instead of the snacking and all of that. Um, so now here's another thing, and y'all will think I'm crazy, but at dinner, you kind of want to start thinking. It's kind of like right now, all of us are thinking about this huge storm that's coming in. So we've prepared, we've gone to the store, we're making sure we had our firewood, everything we have been doing because we're in anticipation of what is coming tomorrow. Well, that's the same thing. At dinner time, every evening, you start to think, I'm so excited I get to relax in a little bit. I am so happy it's nighttime. The day is done. I'm going to go and lay down and just sleep like crazy. Or I'm so happy I can chill now. And you start telling yourself these things. And it may sound crazy, but I'm telling you that mindset is telling your brain, and your brain's telling your body, hey, she's excited that she's going to get shut down here in a minute. And so you start telling yourself that. You don't start thinking about, oh my gosh, I've got all those clothes in the dryer. I've still got to fold, blah, 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 blah. That's going to rev your engines up, and that's going to make your body not in a good place to go to sleep. So you really want to start talking to yourself at that time as well. During dinner, in your mind that it's almost time. So don't fret or worry about other things. Just be excited about going to sleep. Now, you'll really think I'm crazy here, but it works. Be joyful about resting. Be excited that it's time to rest. Again, I'm a woman. I know. I raise kids. I know. We get in the mindset that we have all these things we have to do before we go to bed. I want to challenge you to retrain your brain about that because it's so important, especially as we get older. And start thinking how joyful you are that you get a rest time. You get to lay down and rest. God rested on the seventh day after all the work he did. It's okay. We just need to be happy and joyful about it. Now, if you want to, take a warm bath with Epsom salts. I highly recommend at night like that. I have done this to myself when my bath was too hot and it actually kind of backfired on me. Um, so you want to take a warm bath that doesn't get your body temperature too hot with Epsom salts and essential oils. Very great way to calm and make your body calm down. Another thing is, besides taking mineral essence, you can also drop mineral essence in the bath because your body will absorb that. The mineral essence. Minerals will calm your body down and help your body sleep. So that's pretty good too. Or something that I really enjoy. When I was 12 years old, you can bleep this out, but my mother used to sell Mary Kay. Back before it had all these chemicals in it, it was pretty straightforward. But when I was 12, she taught me then that I had to clean my face every night. So it is a habit of mine, and I'm so grateful she taught me that because I actually love it. And so I clean my face every night. I take my makeup off with lavender lotion. And then I wash it with a cloth, and then I use our gentle cleanser, and it's got your frankincense and myrrh and all that in it. So I love it, and it's foamy, so it's very calming just to clean my face. And then one of my favorite things after I do the toner, one of my favorite things that if y'all haven't tried this yet are Beauty Glow. Oh my goodness. I love this stuff. And it's almost like spa night every night when I put this on. I love the smell. It's super relaxing. Um, it's got the CBD, and I put some in my hand and then I just massage it all over my face. And just the smell, it smells like being out in a meadow where everything is just fresh and calming. So even that, is something that I absolutely love. So if you haven't tried this, it's a treat. Beauty Glow, and it lasts a long time because you only have to use a little bit of a dropper, not even a dropper full, to get it all over your face, and I just love it. Um, the other thing is, okay, I told you about those. Um, and so now here's some tips I learned a long time ago. Yes. Um, here's some tips I learned a long time ago from Dr. Oz back when he had his TV show. He really had some brilliant things. Um, and you'll think I'm crazy. But one of the things that I learned a long, long time ago from him is that when we lay down to rest at night, our bodies, the body cavity that holds our organs, is hot. It's where it has been doing all the busyness of in our body, um, and so it holds heat all day. Then a lot of times when we lay down, we find that our legs are cold, our feet are cold, our hands are cold. So one of the things that he said is to get your body to start moving that heat from inside the body around the organs. He said, put some socks on. And what it does is it starts to warm the feet up, and it starts to pull all of the heat will start getting even in your body so that the body where it's been holding this heat to perform all day will start calming and cooling so that you can start getting an even temperature in your body when you lay down. So socks, and we'll talk about oils in a minute, but after you put on oils, socks are great. And also, again, they tell me, my brain, that, hey, she's serious about going to sleep now because I put these little half socks on. And so they'll help your body circulate all the heat better. Also, let's see. Then the other one is if, and I love to do this. I'm not talking major exercise, but you can even do some stretches right by your bed before you lay down, where you stretch your whole body up and your whole body, just go up and down. Or you can get down in the floor and do that. Just a few of them to, again, get the circulation going in the entire body so that when you lay down, you can rest. Now, I forgot to bring mine up here, but I love a sleep mask. And a lot of people say, I don't like them doing my eyelashes. Well, my favorite is called a mantra. And they're actually hollowed out. And they have a cushion around them. So it's really just fitting around the eye. And the cool thing is they're Velcroed to the band. So you can take it off and adjust it to your eyes. So it's called the Mantra, Mantra. It is an excellent mask. And it'll last you a long time, but your eyelashes are not hitting the mask. They're not smashed down because it opens, but it has the padding, so it keeps the light from coming in. So I love a mask. And then I love earplugs. And I use the kind that are silicone. And sometimes I even take one and pull it in two. But I love them because it blocks out a lot of the noise. Some people will say, oh, no, I love my noisemaker. I've never been one about noisemakers. In fact, I went years and years and didn't really know what they were. And then my daughter loved one. So, but I love my earplugs. And the thing about it is, it blocks out, like if Jeff starts to snore or like sometimes the dropping of my diffuser or something like that. But if my dog barks, like something's wrong, I can hear her. But the plugs actually help me just relax and sleep so much better. And these are silicone and they're like putty. So you don't push them all the way down in the ear. You just kind of push them in this part of the ear. And they're really good. And then the other thing is
You have a
Smile
brand name for that? For the
Max, Macks. I meant to bring them upstairs. You can order them on Amazon. Yes, that's it. A lot of swimmers use them and all that, but they're also used for sleep. And then when you lay down, smile and thank God for your day and just feel your body. And you'll be surprised because a smile is very relaxing to the body. So smile, thank God for your day, and just relax and enjoy that you're going to get to go to sleep. So now we're going to talk supplements. I love our supplements. And before I forget it, I'm going to mention that some people love to take Unwind, which is for kids. It's a powder packet. I'm not going to talk about that right now. And yes, it does. It takes less muscles to smile than to frown. So it's relaxing. But I'm going to talk about, first of all, I'm going to talk about, I mentioned Unwind that's in the kids sense, but some people like it. Some adults like it. So I'm going to talk to you about what has worked really, really well for me. I love our Deep Night Essence. I don't even have to take it all the time, but sometimes I don't know why. I may need a reset or something on my sleep, but this is amazing. And I wanted to tell you, if you're not familiar with it, it's really cool. And I wanted to tell you, it says to take 2 capsules. I only take 1. If you are struggling to sleep, you might want to take 2. But I only take 1. It's all I need. And I'll tell you what I take with it in a minute. That makes all the difference. But it can deliver a really good, restful sleep. And it has got some things in here. The night blend is spearmint and green tea, which I found very odd. But as I was reading about it, it helps concentration, normal cognitive function, and visual recall and processing. The way I interpret that is we also have to concentrate on our sleep. Um, and yes, it does replace sleep essence, but there's no melatonin in it. I am very sensitive to melatonin. I can't take it. A lot of people are, but there's no melatonin in it. If you need melatonin, if you know that your body is low in melatonin, then that is in our ImmuPro. And it is a chewable tablet that will have melatonin in there. But this Deep Night Essence has the spearmint, the green tea. It's also got holy basil extract and its calming properties in it, and lemon balm extract, also known as Melissa. And if you've ever smelled our Melissa essential oil, it's very relaxing. It also has lavender in within this capsule that you're taking, and spearmint. So what I love about this is it really is truly just relaxing. It's not knocking you out, making you feel drunk, kind of thing. It's just super relaxing. Yeah, Wendy says she takes the unwind. That works for a lot of people. It does not for me. And that's the other thing is you have to remember that sometimes certain things will work for people that don't. So for me, I only need one deep night essence. Um, and and they really worked on this to be able to clear the toxins, um, regulate our mood, and maintain our immune system. So it says why you'll love it is because it delivers a nightly melatonin free support for more restful sleep. It's designed for daily long term use. So, like I said, I'll go through a period of time where I'll use it every night. And then all of a sudden, it's almost like my body is back in a good rhythm and I don't have to. Um, it may ease occasional stress and promote relaxation without causing that drunk, drowsy feeling. Um, and supports regulation of the body's natural sleep cycle, the circadian rhythm. That's another thing. When you get up in the mornings, try to go set your eyes on sunlight because that is going to also keep your circadian rhythm because you're alerting your body that the sun is out and you're letting your eyes, it's hitting the back of your eyes so that your body becomes fully awake. Now, the other thing, somebody needs to mute, I think. The other thing that I love, it's one of my favorite products in Young Living now, and I love to take these together, is our super magnesium. Um, did you know that our country, it's over 75% uh, deficient in magnesium? Magnesium is a huge, huge mineral that we need. I have people that will fight with restless leg and they'll fight with nervousness and all these things when they lay down at night and they don't realize and they've never taken magnesium. And as we get older, these uh, minerals start being depleted because our body's getting older. So we need to give it more back. So when I take now, for me, I take one magnesium in the morning. The bottle will tell you to take 3 a day, spread throughout the day. I love to take one in the morning. Your magnesium is also going to make it so that the cell receives calcium and other things that it needs. So way back in the day, they put calcium in everything, and women's heart attacks especially went sky high. Well, because the calcium was calcifying in their arteries. Um, but what they didn't know was that they had to have magnesium to open the cell to receive the calcium. So magnesium is super important. And so I love to take 3. For me, I take 4. Right now, I've been taking one of these and 4 at night. I just love to take it. Now, here's something really cool about our magnesium because here's another thing. Everybody stresses if they're getting the right magnesium. And there are some different ones, but what I love that Young Living did is they kind of covered the gamut. Um, did you know that magnesium supports over 300 500 functions in your body. I think we all need to be taking magnesium. Okay, so it reduces oxidative stress. It's going to help your organ function, healthy organ function, restful sleep, bone function, cardiovascular health, liver health, and metabolic health. You think we need magnesium? It reduces oxidative stress. And here's what's interesting to me. I love our company. Gary Young set the precedence that they look at everything that might work. This contains a melon. It's a melon juice concentrate that increases the magnesium efficiency in the body to reduce oxidative stress and fatigue. Who knew? It's some kind of melon that really helps do that. It decreases serum concentration of cortisol, the stress hormone, resulting in calming the central nervous system. So that's wonderful because, again, it can soothe away occasional tension and everyday stressors when you lay down. So it's going to start relaxing the body. And here's the other thing that just amazes me is they found a magnesium in the Irish Sea, the pristine waters of the Irish Sea. They found that with the power of the melon juice, that you're getting the magnesium dynamic that you need. So you don't have to worry about if it's this one, or this one. You're just getting an overall dynamic magnesium that's fantastic. Okay, so let's see, where did I get? Okay, and then the last supplement that I'm going to share with you is cortisol. Again, if you have been under high stress, if you and that can be something that's bothering you emotionally, whatever it is that would have your stress levels up, then you want to get on cortisol and take this for several weeks every night to help calm the adrenals and calm that cortisol that needs to go down so that your natural melatonin can go up so that you can sleep. And I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the last but not least is let's talk about some oils. And I'm going to just tell you what I do, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. But so I always say that if there's anything in pain, anything bothering you, make sure you take care of that first with our Cool Azul, Deep Relief, Cortistop is the name of it. Our Aromaseas, our Wintergreen. Did you know that Wintergreen is aspirin? Oh, it's like aspirin in a bottle. And just anything like Panaway, whatever it is that you need if something's hurting you, if there's something in pain, you want to go ahead and treat that before you go in to lay down. So you're ahead of the game. Then what I do, my diffuser, remember I talked about have your diffuser going about 30 minutes before you're ready. And then it's like clockwork for me. They're by my bed, and I highly recommend that you put beside your bed your nighttime oils so that you will use them every night. So now, when you think about this, unless peppermint relaxes you, peppermint would wake me up. So I would never do that oil necessarily. But what I would do is for me, because I want to keep my eyebrows as I get older, I use lavender. I just take a drop of lavender and do over my eyebrows, which is going to relax me, but also it helps with hair growth. So I put lavender on my eyebrows. This is my every night. I take Peace and Calming that I love. My sister-in-law that we lost, unfortunately, to cancer in 2016, she used to say that I know heaven's going to smell like this. She just loved the smell of this. But Peace and Calming, I take a drop and put it behind each ear. On the mastoid bone, I rub it all the way down that mastoid bone and just what I call the canal, which is right under your earlobe there where your jaw connects to your neck. I put peace and calming in these places. You can put it on your temple, but I've just found for me it's very, very relaxing on the ears. Um, yes, cedarwood. Okay, and see, I'm weird about cedarwood on me. I love to diffuse it, but I can't, if I put it on me, I have weird dreams, so I can't do cedarwood for some weird reason. Um, the other is, another thing that's calming and will also help balance some things out in your body is bergamot. And you want to take it in a capsule at night. Now you can put it on at night, but if you take a bunch, it can help several balance out some things in your body, but it's also relaxing. So you don't want to forget and take it in the morning because you might be a little sleepy. So bergamot's great to take at night or diffuse by your bed. The other one is sleepy eyes. Now this is in our kids scent line. I love this and I love the smell of it. It does have the rue in it, which is in our rutavala. Rutavala, as my daughter says, smells like smashed green peas. It does. When she said that, I was like, oh, it does. Um, my husband loves rutavala. He can put it on the bottom of his big toe and he can go to sleep really well. I suggest 6 to 8 of the drops of bergamot in a capsule. If you're trying to balance some other things in the body, like you're trying to get some things balanced that we'll talk about after I turn off recording. But Sleepy Eyes has the rue. Now, I don't know if you've heard the story, but when Gary Young first discovered rue and he would send the workers out in the field, sometimes he would find them asleep. They would fall asleep because working with the rue would put them to sleep. So Sleepy Eyes, it's in there, but it's also got, some lavender and things like that. I love to take a drop of Kid Scent Sleepy Eyes and I put it right back here on the brain stem where your spine connects to your skull. And I love to put it right there because I'm signaling to my brain that I want it to calm down and I want to go to sleep. Um, so I love this. And then I think I think that's about it. And then sometimes I have some issues on my leg that I'm trying to heal, and so I love to put cypress because cypress equals circulation. And so I love to have that good circulation in my legs. So I'm going to let's see, let me make sure that I got everything. I think I did. And then also remember rutavala, I just mentioned. It stands for the rue plant, um, and valerian. If you've ever, and that's another thing that contributes to the smell. Yes, cypress over the bladder is also great. But rue and then valerian. When I was going on that trip to Russia, I talked about I was taking valerian supplements back then, and I was not thinking, and I opened that bottle and the whole plane smelled terrible from that valerian capsule. So I learned real quick to never do that again. But it's rue, valerian, and lavender. So that's where you get the rutavala. So that can be really good. It comes in a roll on. You can roll it on the bottom of the big toe, and the big toe in reflexology, of course, is the head, the brain. So anyway, so I'm going to turn off the recording and see. Oh, one last tidbit that is super important. Somebody said up above, what if you wake up and you lay there and you can't go back to sleep? So let me tell you my tip for that. Stress away. Now, it's not just put on stress away. It sits by my bed. Now, it's not often that I wake up and I can't go back to sleep. But if something's, like I said, when you can't let go, especially if it's a kid of yours, or something's on my mind, or I don't know why I can't go back to sleep, I reach over. I don't even have to take my mask off. It is right where I know where to grab it. And I take the stress away, take the lid off with my mask still on, and I lay it here and I drag it completely under my chin and all the way to the other side. And I let it drip down my neck, and then I rub it in. But those of you that know Jim Bob, he taught me a long time ago that this right here under the chin bone is a really good area because it's close to where, under the tongue where the salivary glands are, but it's also getting in there to go up into the brain. And I'm telling you, the next morning I'll go, I don't remember anything after I did that with the stress away. So it's amazing, and it's a big tip that I've given a lot of people. It makes a big difference. But there's something about it, and then I just rub it all in here and go like this under my nose so I can keep smelling it. So maybe that will help whoever it is that wrote that in here. So I'm going to turn the recording off, and